The following is a lecture given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on the 27th of December, 1975, in Sanand, India.
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha means the supreme authority. Matta parataram nanyat kinchid asti dhananjaya. If you learn from the supreme authority without any deficiency, then the knowledge is perfect. Ordinary person, they have got 4 deficiencies. They commit mistake, their illusion, their senses are imperfect, and with imperfect knowledge they try to speak, that is cheating. Therefore, we have to receive knowledge from the person who knows past, present and future. So, the best personality, there are so many others. Krishna and his representative, both of them are perfect. Because Krishna is perfect, there is no doubt. And one who speaks according to Krishna, he is also perfect. A human being or a living being is not expected to become as perfect as Krishna. That is not possible. Therefore, if a person sticks to the instruction of Krishna, does not make any addition or alteration, he is also perfect. Unfortunately, at the present moment especially, it was done formally also, 5,000 years, that they make addition and alteration on the version of Krishna. Just like Bhagavad Gita is misinterpreted by so-called scholars and politicians. Just like in the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samavita judussava. Somebody interprets this Dharma kshetra is this body. Why one should interpret in that way? Interpretation is required when things are not very clear. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre is still there. People go to Kurukshetra for executing religious rituals. And in the Vedas, it is stated, Kurukshetre dharmamachare. So why it should be interpreted as body? And where is the dictionary where dharmakshetra means body? So in this way, if we interpret Bhagavad Gita, then we spoil the whole thing. I spoil myself and spoil others. Therefore the conclusion is, we shall accept Bhagavad Gita as it is spoken by Krishna. So here the Bhagavan Uvacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is speaking. So we shall take it without any interpretation. The Bhagavan says, Maya Sakta Mana. Maya Sakta Mana Partha Yogam Janyan Madasraya Samagram Asangsang Samagram Jatha Gasya Sitachim. Bhagavan says, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Authority says that you require to transfer your asakti, attachment to me. Everyone has got asakti. Asakti means attachment. This material attachment. Someone has got attachment for his family, some to society, some to nation, some in business, and so many things. Asakti is there. But to make your life perfect, you have to transfer the asakti to Krishna. In the Western countries, I have seen, most of them, they have got no family, no asakti family. But because the asakti is there, every one of them keeps a dog. So they are accustomed to place their asakti to cats and dogs. That means asakti cannot be finished. That is not possible. So you haven't got to learn what is asakti. Asakti is there. Everyone has got experience. Simply that asakti, the tendency of attachment, should be transferred to Krishna. That is Vrindavan life. In Vrindavan, the center of asakti is Krishna. There is Nanda Maharaj, Jasoda, they have asakti to Krishna. The young girls, they have got asakti to Krishna. The cowherd boys, they have got asakti to Krishna. The trees, they have got asakti to Krishna. The fruits, flowers, they have got asakti to Krishna. The water, Jamuna river, they are asakti to Krishna. So if we make our central point of asakti, then you can create Vrindavan everywhere. So this is the success of life. We have to change the asakti to Krishna. That is the highest form of mystic yoga. Krishna has already explained in the previous verse, Yoginam api sarvesam madgata antaratmana sadhyavan bhajati jumang same juktatamo. There are many yogis, many forms of yoga practice, mystic. But the yogi who is always thinking of Krishna, he is first class yogi. So, this Krishna consciousness movement means to educate people how to become attached to Krishna. But if one does not know what is Krishna, there is no question of increasing his asakti for Krishna. So to understand Krishna, Krishna personally appears to draw our attention to Krishna. When we forget our asakti, that is material life, forget our asakti for Krishna, that is our material life, or we struggle for existence in the material life. That is said by Krishna, Jada jada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata tadatmanam srijamaham. This dharmasya glani, deviation from the occupational duty. Dharma means occupational duty. Then Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, he appears to teach us how to divert your attention and asakti to Krishna. The dharmasya glani, deviation in the path of religious system means to forget our eternal relationship with Krishna. Therefore, Krishna ultimately, at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, he says, as the Supreme Person, he orders, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam braja. Therefore, he did not come to establish the so-called Hindu dharma or Muslim dharma or Christian dharma, this dharma, that. He came to establish the real dharma, that is to surrender to Krishna. So, Srimad Bhagavatam is establishing also in the beginning, Dharma projita koitava tra. In this Srimad Bhagavatam, the so-called cheating ways and cheating type of dharma are kicked out, projita, thrown away. Srimad Bhagavad is explaining what is real dharma as it is established by Krishna. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam vraja. According to Dharma Shastra, material Dharma Shastra, it is said dharma, artha, kam, moksha, up to moksha. In this connection, Sridhar Swami, the great commentator on Srimad Bhagavatam, he says, atra moksha vansha api nirasta. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is no chance or opportunity for thinking of so-called liberation. The purpose is that one fully surrenders to Krishna, he immediately becomes liberated. The Bilamangal Thakur, he says, Mukti mukulita anjali sevate asma. For a devotee, why he should be anxious for mukti? Because mukti is always standing on his door to give him service. Mukulita anjali seva, with folded hands. So, a devotee hasn't got to endeavor separately for mukti. As soon as he is engaged in devotional service, mukti is already there. Just like if a person becomes rich man, automatically his poverty is gone away. So, a rich man does not require to endeavor separately to drive away poverty. So, therefore, the central point is, Krishna is advising here, just increase your asakti, attachment for me, then everything will come. So he recommends, Maya sakta manapatha, yogam junjan madas. This word, madasraya, is very important because you cannot increase your attachment for Krishna without being madasraya. Madasraya means to be directly under the direction of Krishna or to be directly under the direction of somebody who has taken shelter of Krishna. Therefore he recommends madasraya. You cannot execute the yoga system, devotional service, bhakti yoga, without being under the control of somebody who is under the control of Krishna. Srila Sukadeva Goswami has recommended, therefore, jad upasraya sraya. One has to take shelter of a pure devotee, then he becomes purified. Jad upasraya means to take shelter of a pure devotee. And in that case, Kirata Hunand Pulinda Pukkasa Abhira Sumbha Javana Khasadaya Jannecha Papa Jadupasraya Sraya Shuddhanti Prabhavishnave Nama. So, not only those who are highly elevated, Brahman, Kshatri, Vaishya, Shudra, Shudras less than Shudra, they are called Kirata, Huna, Andha, Pulinda, Pukkasa, Abhira, Javan, Khasadaya. They also can be purified if they take shelter of a pure devotee. Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, Mangi Partha Vipasritya Jepishu Papajuna Striya Vaishya Satha Shudra Srepi Janti Parangati, means that anyone, even if he is born in the Papajoni, the Papajoni Kirata Hunda, if he takes shelter of me, then he also gets the supreme perfection, Tepi Janti Parangati. Now it is the duty of a devotee of Krishna to expand this progressive march toward devotional service. Otherwise, how the Papajoni will learn? This is Parupakar. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Bharat Bhumite Manusya Janma Haila Jat Janma Sarthak Kori Karo Parupakar. That every Indian who has taken birth in India as a human being, he should first of all make his life successful by understanding Krishna, and then he must preach outside to render service to others as welfare activities. So Krishna appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to teach us practically how to preach Krishna consciousness and how to deliver persons from the Papa journey. Sri Narottam Das Thakur, a Acharya of the Gauriya Sampradaya, he says in his song, Sri Nandana je, Nanda Suto Hoilo je, Sachi Suto Hoilo se. In the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared as the son of Mother Sachi. Narottam Das Thakur sings, the same personality of Godhead who appeared as the son of Maharaj Nanda, Nanda Suto Hoilo je, Sachi Suto Hoilo se. He has now appeared as the son of Mother Sachi. And Balaram Hoilo Nitai, and the same Balaram has appeared as Nityananda Prabhu. Now, what is their business? That is described. Papi tapi joto chilo, Hari name uddharilo. So, papi tapi joto chilo, Hari na tar sakhi jagayan madhai. Then he is giving evidence how the papi and tapis are delivered. Here is the example of Jagai Madhai. This Jagai Madhai, they took birth in a good Brahmin family, but by bad association, they became drunkard, thief, woman hunter, and so on, so on. But they were also delivered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to become first-class Vaishnava. So, our aim should be how to increase our attachment. The attachment is there. It is not artificial. It is said in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Nitya Siddha Krishna Bhakti Sadhya Kovnay Savanadi Shuddha Chitte Karoi Uda. The Krishna Bhakti, attachment for Krishna, is quite natural. It is already there. Simply, it has to be awakened. Nitya Siddha Krishna Bhakti Sadhya Kovnay Savanadi Shuddha Chitte Karoi Uda. If you engage yourself to hear about Krishna, then your heart will be purified and your original Krishna consciousness will be awakened. For this purpose, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also advises, Parang Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. All glories to the Sankirtan movement, because simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, everything will automatically come in. The complete instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Chetadattvanamajanam bhavamahadabhagni nirvapanam sriyakairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadhu jivanam anandam vadivardhanam prativadam purnamrita swadanam parang vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. So, the Sankirtan movement, Krishna consciousness movement, the more you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the heart disease, material enjoyment, that will decrease, and then you will understand what is your position, and you will be gradually attracted by Krishna. Bhakti parishanubhava virakti annatasya. This is the taste of bhakti, that if you engage yourself 24 hours in devotional service, then immediately you become liberated. Liberation means to become detachful to material enjoyment. So, Krishna attachment is so nice that Dhruva Maharaj, he was in the beginning attracted by material enjoyment. He wanted a kingdom more than his father, and he went to the forest for meeting the Supreme Personality of Godhead to get this benediction. So, Dhruva Maharaj actually, when he saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he refused to accept any benediction. Samin Kritathosmi Barang na jachi. This is the benefit of Krishna Asakti. If you actually become attached to Krishna, then you'll think yourself completely filled up. There is no more asking for any material benefit. Therefore in this Shastra it is recommended, akama sarvakama va moksha kama udaradhi tibrena bhakti yogena jajeta paramam purush. Even if you have got material desires, sarvakama, still you be attached to Krishna. So your material aspiration will be fulfilled. At the same time, you will get Krishna. And Dhruva Maharaj refused to take any benediction. Lord Vishnu informed him that don't bother. You had some desire for material fulfillment. So there is Dhuvalo. You enjoy. And after your life is finished, you'll come to Vaikuntha. So Krishna is so nice, so liberal, that if you have got a little tinge of aspiration, he'll fulfill you, and at the same time he'll go back to home, back to God. Therefore, it is recommended, jajeta paramam purush. If you have got some material desire, still you worship Krishna, he'll fulfill. At the same time, he will be able to go back to home, back to God. Krishna is all-powerful, almighty, with six opulences. So, if you have got any material desire, that also Krishna can fulfill. But you stick to Krishna so that your asakti will be increased. If you divert your attention to other demigods, then this asakti will fail. Therefore, for a devotee who sticks his faith in Krishna, he has no chance for worshipping other demigods. The Narottam Das Thakur says, Anna devasraya nai, tomare kohenu bhai, sei se parama bhakti kara. For a devotee of Krishna, there is no scope for worshipping other deity, because that will not help him to increase his attachment for Krishna. That if we want our asakti attachment to increase for Krishna, then absolute annavilasita sunnam jnana karmadhanavritam anukullena krishnaanusilanam bhakti ruttama. We have to give up all other material desires, simply stick to Krishna, to serve him, always ready to serve him. Anukullena krishnaanusilanam. Just like Arjuna, he was ready to serve Krishna. Similarly, everyone should be ready to serve Krishna. That is the perfection of life. So one has to execute this process of devotional service, as Krishna said, Madasraya. Take shelter of me or my devotee. Now at the present moment, in the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is personally instructing. So let us take shelter of his personal instruction and make our life successful. And not only he becomes a devotee, but a pure devotee understands Krishna, as it is said here, asangsayang samagram, not partially, but fully. It is of course not possible to understand Krishna fully. Still, almost fully, a devotee can understand Krishna. That is also confirmed in the last paragraph, last chapter. Bhaktya mam vijanati javan jaschami tattvato tato mam tattvato gatva visadi tad anantaram. So, if we want to go back to home, back to Godhead, then we must increase our attachment for Krishna, and by that process we can understand Krishna, what he is, Bhaktya mam vijanati. Then our door to go back to home, back to Godhead is clear. The conclusion is therefore that we should take to the bhakti process as it is enunciated in authoritative Shastra by Krishna, by the Acharyas, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam Bhaja. That is the way only for our perfection of life. Thank you very much. Bihari. Jashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Banachari. Jamuna Tira Banachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Banachari. Yamuna Tira Banachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Muspat Paramangsa Paribhajagacharya Sattvaresvara Smadhapiriddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavindra ki jai. Ramacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Shri Radha Krishna Mokh Gopinath Sam Khand Radha Khand Giri Govardhan ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Navadvip Dham ki jai. Ganga Mai ki jai, Jamuna Mai ki jai, Guru Dwarka Dham ki jai, Swami Bhaktivedanta ki jai. All glories to their Swami. All glories to their Swami. Thank you very much.